Welcome to Unit 6.2, Love Potion Number 9. I'm Diana Lindsay. Just like there's a chemistry of stress and a chemistry of joy, there's also a chemistry of love. We used to think of chemistry as only fueling sexual attraction and lust, but in fact, these chemicals and neurotransmitters and amines can also be used and are used in the chemistry of attachment and longer-lasting love. Lust is fueled by testosterone and estrogen. We learned that in our science courses all along. But the chemistry of attraction and attachment has been growing in the past 10 years. We understand now that attraction, which causes us to lose our appetite, our sleep, to become obsessed and somewhat crazy, is fueled by dopamine, a drug called chemistry called norepinephrine, which causes us to have sweaty palms and a pounding heart, and a loss of regulation of serotonin. The chemistry of attachment or longer-lasting love is a more recent phenomenon. Researchers led by Helen Fisher and her associates at the University of Stony Brook have been studying where this activity takes place in the brain, and they've come to see that passionate love is very different than long-term attachment. People who have been married for a long time can be just as much in love, but it may look a little bit different. Dopamine is key to both passionate love and the chemistry of non-passionate love. Dopamine is a neurochemical that's associated with mate selection. It gives us pleasure, motivation. It's that craziness in first falling in love. Oxytocin is the release of the cuddle hormone. This is the one that's caused by touching, by breastfeeding, and this is the one that is more prevalent in longer-term relationships. Oxytocin is a wonderful chemical. It induces a general sense of well-being, including calm. It improves social interactions. It increases trust, reduces fear. It changes blood pressure. It's augmented by touch. And more importantly to me, it helps increase the neuroplasticity of the brain, opening us to love the world more broadly. The lack of oxytocin is associated with not only a decreased quality of life, but also an increased risk of dying. Now, as they've gone on to study these chemicals, they not only stimulate love, but they also do boost the immune system. So this intuition that I had and that cousins had has recently been proven true. Dopamine suppresses inflammation, which is an environment that leads to disease. It inhibits cytokine production, which lead to cancer, and it increases our communication between our neurons and our immune cells. Dopamine is found in both. We see very similar effects in oxytocin. Now, can this only be a result of our love for others? What do we do when we don't have others in our life who give us this feeling of well-being and joy? What I found over these many years of working was that I could create the same chemistry in myself through the practice of Yiren Qigong. I found at first that it was helpful to calm my anxiety. I used loops that you'll be experiencing to counter the stress loops. But I then found that the same kind of chemistry that we've been talking about felt similar to my body from how it felt when I did Qigong. And so I learned to use it in two ways. I could think of those that I loved. I could remember the sensation of how I felt in their presence. And then I could let that emotion and energy circulate through my body during times when they weren't present. Researchers have in fact shown that meditation has a very similar chemistry to love in the petri dish of life. Dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and melatonin are all increased. So I think that this is a way that we can make the power, the love potion number 9, available to all of us all the time. So I challenge you, think about What or who do you love? If it isn't a person, it might be a pet. It might be something you love doing. It might be a place, a beautiful place in nature. How does your body feel when you experience love? And practice circulating that through your body. Enjoy the experience, and we'll see you in the next video.